This is Story Recapped. Today, I'm going to explain a comedy sci-fi film called Hot Tub Time Machine. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. At a pet clinic, Nick gets a call from his old friend, Lou, but chooses to reject it. As Nick inspects a customer's dog, the customer recognizes him from when he was a band singer. When the customer makes a sarcastic comment on his current job, Nick tosses him his car keys that he just pulled out from the dog. That evening, Lou leaves a message for Adam, but he's also not interested. Adam walks around the house, seeing that his ex-girlfriend took a lot of items from his house after moving out. In the basement, Adam scolds his nephew, Jake, for spending the day playing video games. When Adam suggests he move back with his mother, Jake reveals that his mother already moved in with her boyfriend, so he can't. Meanwhile, a car wildly drives into a garage. Lou drinks as he sings along with the song on the radio. He then starts air drumming and stepping on the pedal, letting out smoke in his closed garage. Later, Adam meets Nick and his wife, Courtney, at the hospital where Lou was rushed in for carbon monoxide poisoning. The doctor reports that Lou denies that he did it intentionally. Nick and Adam see Lou sleeping in his room. In hushed voices, they list down the possible reasons why Lou would attempt to take his life. Lou wakes up and hears them listing down his failures. He throws a pillow at them and sarcastically criticizes them for not returning his calls. Nick and Adam invite him to the Kodiak Valley ski resort to cheer him up. The next day, Adam and Nick pick up Lou. He gets angry when he sees that Jake is joining them. On their way, Lou flaunts the liquor he brought, including a Russian energy drink called Chernobyl. Upon reaching Kodiak Valley, they're disappointed to see that it's just the shadow of the town they used to know. Adam remembers breaking up with an ex-girlfriend, Jenny Stedmeyer, in one of the closed-down restaurants. They arrive at the lodge and are appalled at its state. Nick checks them in but whispers his last name, Weber Agnew, to the receptionist. The receptionist repeats his name, and Lou overhears, berating Nick for taking his wife's name. Later, their luggage is pulled by an angry one-armed bellboy named Phil. Phil throws the bags off the bell car in their room, then asks for a tip. Jake points out that they have a hot tub, but there's a dead raccoon inside. That night, Lou tries to get the others to go wild, but nobody likes his ideas. After failing to convince them, Lou storms off, and Adam thinks the trip is a bad idea. Nick recounts how they had the best night of their lives in that same room. Suddenly, the balcony door opens and the hot tub glows, inviting them in. While in the tub, the four toast to the fun times, and the night picks up with a lot of drinking. Someone knocks over a can of Chernobyl on the controls, and the night continues to go wild. The following day, they wake up and Lou immediately throws up on a squirrel. Later, they go skiing, disrupting the other patrons around. Lou accidentally knocks down Adam and Nick, and the three fall down a cliff. Fortunately, all three are okay. A couple of ski patrollers criticize the rowdy group and threaten them. Lou quiets down, recognizing one of them. After the encounter, the group finally realizes something is wrong. All the other patrons wear vivid retro gear, and the restaurant is full of 80s pop culture items. The group returns to their room to process what's happening. Someone knocks on their door, and it's Phil with both his arms still attached. They attack him, and Lou rips his sleeve, confirming that his arm is real. The group goes to the hot tub, and Jake concludes that it must have taken them back in time. The friends rummage through their bags and find items from their youth. In the bathroom, they see their younger selves in their reflection. Just as they question why Jake is still there when he's not supposed to be born yet, he starts flickering until Adam slaps him. While the others argue over their situation, a repairman appears out of nowhere. He inspects their hot tub's control panel and warns them that things could go haywire if they change anything. The hot tub suddenly turns on, so the group checks on it, only to see it turn off again. When they look back, the repairman is gone. The men realize that they need to do the same thing they did 20 years ago. Nick has a gig and is supposed to sleep with a fan named Tara, but Nick argues that he's married. Nick then remembers that the ski patroller earlier beat Lou up. Adam was supposed to break up with Jenny that day, and just then, Jenny arrives and kisses Adam. She tells him to meet her in her room before leaving. Seeing how attractive she is, Adam questions why he broke up with her, but Jake reminds him that he still has to. They head down the lounge and meet with Adam's sister and Jake's mother, Kelly. Jake panics at meeting the younger version of his mother. She then announces her wild plans for the night, which stuns her future son. While walking around, Jake realizes that he'll be born 9 months from now, so his birth father could be in the resort. They spot Phil making an ice sculpture, figuring that this is how he loses his arm. Jake wonders if they should warn him, but Lou argues that they can't change anything. Phil slips on ice, causing him to throw the chainsaw in the air. It lands near his shoulder, but he's unharmed. Adam arrives in Jenny's room, and she seems interested in being intimate with him again. Adam remembers how Jenny stabbed him after breaking up with her. Afraid of the outcome, Adam urges her to go to the concert instead. At the club, Nick is happy to see his old bandmates. He spots Tara at the bar and reminds himself that it wouldn't be cheating. Meanwhile, Lou is pissed that he has to get beaten up again. Just then, he bumps into the ski patroller, Blaine, who picks a fight with him again. Lou takes a punch in the face, and Blaine steals his bag. Jake asks if he's okay, and Lou admits that he's not over it yet. He's supposed to challenge Blaine to a rematch with all of his friends against Lou's. But Lou's friends didn't show up, so he got beaten up by all 6 guys. Lou hesitates but is forced to challenge Blaine again. At the same time, Nick mournfully spends the evening with Tara. He weeps during the encounter and calls his wife's name. Much to Tara's frustration, Nick explains that Courtney is his wife, but they're not married yet because she's currently 9 years old. Tara rolls her eyes, finally not in the mood. Nick then shares that Courtney cheated on him, but he couldn't confront her because he loves her too much. Outside, Lou tends to his wound when a young woman approaches. Lou lies that he got hit by a truck after saving a baby deer. The woman offers to take care of them, and Jake tries to say no since it's not part of the plan, but it doesn't work. At the concert, Jenny joins the crowd while Adam stays behind the bar. A woman volunteers him for a beer luge, so a man pours beer on an ice sculpture and into Adam's mouth. The woman is disappointed that it didn't look crazy enough, and Adam asks why she did it. The woman, who introduces herself as April, claims that Adam looked like he needed a beer. April is a journalist covering the concert. However, she's not enjoying the music or the Winterfest. When Jenny calls out to Adam, he's reminded that he can't do anything he didn't do before. Meanwhile, Jake and Lou are in the woman's room, where she starts making out with Lou. Jake tries to leave, but the woman insists that she wants them both. She removes her shirt and starts unbuckling Jake's belt while Lou takes off his clothes. Suddenly, she leaves to answer a call from her mom. Jake argues that they shouldn't continue as it didn't happen in the past, but Lou wants to enjoy the moment. Lou teaches Jake how to excite the lady, but Jake freaks out and leaves. When the woman returns, she's disappointed that it's only Lou left, so she refuses to continue. Jake goes to the concert and learns that Adam hasn't broken up with Jenny yet. Adam argues that maybe breaking up with Jenny was a mistake, and the universe gave him a chance to correct it. The rest of the group scolds Adam for not breaking up with Jenny. When Lou yells at Adam, Jake raises that Lou tried to sleep with a woman he wasn't supposed to. Lou declares that if Adam can change the past, so can he. The men leave, and Jake tries to talk sense into them, but they don't listen. Nick and Lou witness Phil get his arm trapped in an elevator door while it's heading down. Lou assumes this is when he loses his arm, but the elevator stops and eventually frees him. Meanwhile, Blaine finds peculiar items from Lou's bag and assumes that they're Russian spies. Adam tries to break up with Jenny at a restaurant, but she hands him a breakup note first. Adam is furious that she stabbed him when she apparently wanted to break up too. He then reveals to Jenny her future of getting pregnant and gaining weight, so she stabs him with a cocktail fork. At a bar, the crowd suddenly cheers over the game playing on the TV, and Lou gets an idea. In their room, Jake finds Adam drinking and writing breakup poetry. Suddenly, the repairman returns and announces that the hot tub needs more repairs. Jake tries to get more information, but he disappears when Jake gets distracted. Jake tells Adam to stay in the room while he looks for Nick and Lou. Adam, however, leaves and bumps into Phil. He tells Phil that he'll lose his arm, but Phil thinks he's joking. Back at the bar, Nick and Lou win a lot of money by betting on the game they already knew about. A disgruntled man, Rick, challenges Lou to a high-stakes bet. Lou makes his prediction and wants Rick's wife to pleasure him if he wins. Thinking that his prediction is impossible, Rick agrees, as long as he gets all of Lou's winnings, and Lou will pleasure Nick if they lose. Confident, Lou agrees. Outside, Adam stares blankly at the stars. April joins him, and he explains that he tried to avoid getting stabbed earlier, but it still happened. April encourages him to do something amazing, like hanging out with her. April breaks into a house that she claims are her friends. There, they enjoy a drink, but Adam is sure that she lied about her friends. At a bar, Lou's prediction is about to come true until the squirrel that he vomited on intervenes. Lou loses the bet, and the man insists on them performing the act, setting down a gun to convince them. Meanwhile, Adam reveals the truth to April, who's skeptical about it. Adam shares that when he and Kelly were kids, their father took them for steak sandwiches on weekends. However, one day, he and Kelly saw an ad for a new pizza restaurant, so they demanded to go there instead. Their father died of E. coli at the restaurant, and Adam blames himself for it. April tells him not to let the incident ruin his life. They then share a kiss, just as the homeowners arrive. The crowd forces Nick and Lou to perform the act at the bar. but Nick faints before it happens. Later, Nick wakes in the bathroom and panics upon seeing Lou's face covered in a white liquid. Lou laughs, revealing that it's just soap. Lou recounts that after Nick fainted, he revealed things from the future to Rick to save them from performing the act. Back at the bar, Lou lists down what he wants to change for the future. Nick, however, is preoccupied. He reveals that Courtney cheated on him. Nick dedicated his life to her, and now he lost his friends and passion for music. Lou encourages him to find himself again, so Nick decides to do his gig. Jake returns to their room and finds the repairman sitting by the hot tub, announcing that it's fixed. He shares that he found some chemicals on the control, and Jake remembers Lou's Chernobyl. The repairman tells him to get more of the drink before getting on the tub. Nick gets on the stage at the Kodiak Club and reminisces about his youth. He starts the concert by singing Jesse's Girl. Meanwhile, Blaine shares his theories with his friends, urging them to beat up the Russian spies. One of his friends wonders if they should call the cops instead, but Blaine insists on handling it on their own. The club goes wild as Nick finds his passion for music again. Then, he plays Let's Get It Started, which hasn't even been released that year yet. Adam, April, and Jake eventually reach the club, while Lou faces Blaine and his friends alone. The crowd cheers for Nick, and Adam congratulates him. Jake interrupts, demanding them to find the Chernobyl and return to the hot tub. When he asks where Lou is, they realize that they're late for the fight. They later find Lou on a roof, drinking his sorrows away. Lou sarcastically celebrates their arrival, then questions where they have been throughout his life. Lou accuses them of cutting him out, but Adam argues that he couldn't let Lou drag him down with him. Jake asks Lou where the Chernobyl is, but Lou continues to rant. He slips off the roof, but the others catch them. Nick's hand eventually slips, and Phil saves them. Lou reveals that Blaine has the Chernobyl, so they head out to find him. On their way, Adam bumps into April, who's already leaving. She invites him to go with her, but he insists that he needs to help his friends. April hugs him and whispers that maybe the universe will bring them together again. Phil drives the gang to the Ski Patrol Lodge. Nick and Adam find Blaine's room and immediately rummage around. Nick, however, is distracted by his picture of Courtney. Meanwhile, Lou checks another room and Kelly walks in. They start insulting each other, but this only turns Kelly on. Jake finds Adam, but suddenly, they hear Nick ranting on the phone. He pours all his rage onto the 9-year-old Courtney until Adam and Jake wrestle the phone off his hands. The trio searches for Lou and catches him in bed with Kelly. Furious, Jake jumps to tackle Lou, but he disappears. Finally, it dawns on them that Lou is Jake's father. To ensure that Jake gets born, Adam regretfully allows his friend to continue being intimate with his sister. When he finishes, Jake returns and pins Lou on the floor, angry that Lou is his father. Adam and Nick drag him off and head out. In the living room, Blaine confronts them, holding the Chernobyl. Blaine dares Lou to take it from him, but he punches Lou instead. Fueled by anger, Lou jumps to punch Blaine, who easily evades and punches him again. Lou doesn't give up and tackles Blaine, beating him while Nick grabs the Chernobyl. Nick pretends that the can is an explosive, threatening the others from coming near. They rush back to Phil's truck and return to their lodge. Phil says goodbye to them, but a truck rushes in front of him, hitting him in the arm. This still doesn't sever his arm. A snowplower speeds past him next, finally severing Phil's arm. Just then, Blaine and his friends arrive, so the gang rushes inside. They say goodbye to Kelly before heading to the hot tub. Nick jumps in and they pour the Chernobyl onto the control panel. Lou decides that he wants to stay, as he has a chance to change his life. He reveals that he did try to end his life in the car, and if he goes back, he might do it again. Adam decides to stay with Lou, but Lou pushes Adam into the tub, just as the vortex sucks them back to the future. The three return to their room and find a DVD player. They play the video and see that Lou is on a yacht, revealing that he used his knowledge of the future to get rich and marry Kelly. Suddenly, someone knocks on the door, and it's Phil, with both arms still attached. He recounts that Blaine's ski patrol team saved him when he severed his arm, allowing the hospital to reattach it. Phil gives them a Google map to get home. They realized that Lou created Google and renamed it Lugal. Later, Adam enters his new house, where he's happily married to April. Nick is now an owner of a recording studio, and Courtney remained faithful to him, having sworn off the idea of cheating after receiving the crazy phone call when she was 9. Lou also gets his happy ending with his wife Kelly and son Jake.
This is all for Story Recapped for today. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Tell us in the comments if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Watch other of our videos showing on the screen and leave a like because it helps the channel. And I would see you in the next video. Goodbye.